And we are back with Blue Collar Genius, where my blue collar ass sits down and talks with someone I think's fucking interesting. And we welcome you to come join us at our little bar where two people get to fucking know each other. And hopefully you get to play that enjoyment of, I always wanted to be a fly on the wall when that crazy fucker talks to somebody.
Yeah, me too, me too. So how are we doing today?
I'm good. Parker, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Now, you're a very interesting cat because you do so many different things.
I do.
Let's see how good my fucked up memory is today. You are a truck driver who does deliveries.
Yep, that's fun.
You are a musician and multiple bands.
Yep, about 3 of them. I got fired from one.
You're also a professional photographer.
Yep, that's fun.
And you're also a one-time podcaster.
One-time podcaster. I had some good stories over that. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a very broad spectrum. Plus anything else we haven't happened to cover at yet.
Let's see. I worked at Coral Sky Amphitheater for like 12 years, so the stories of doing backstage stuff are just great. And the shenanigans that is just being a staff member there, working at Fright Nights, getting banned at Fright Nights after working there for 7 years.
Damn.
That was awesome. There's some things and more things as I dredge up from my mind that we get into.
Well, as we say, where common sense is common until we start drinking, so let's get drinking.
Where's my drink at? Oh, there it is.
Maybe he's already started drinking without me.
So it's all good. It's very nice. Salud.
Salud. No one cares about you, Joey.
Tequila.
Yes, my favorite.
Yeah, that's good. That's good shit.
Yeah.
I use that for food. Yeah.
So, one of the big things before we get too much into me, you had a specific question you wanted to ask me.
Oh.
You made that clear that you wanted to get into
As one podcaster / as what we used to call it because we wanted to feel fancy back then, internet radio host. We want to get. I want to know it's like what is your biggest influences when it comes to doing radio shows? Because I know mine. I love what I love, but I want to know yours.
Well, to answer that, the big influence that drove me to do this was actually the Joe Rogan experience.
Good shit.
But a twist, like Joe Rogan, I love what he does, and he talks to really cool people out there, but they're all big names or big up-and-coming names.
Yeah, you already know him.
I mean, outside of his personal friends, his personal circle that he brings on, he doesn't talk to a lot of regular
Average
Joes.
Yeah.
I don't like the word average because none of us are average.
All right, above average.
But he doesn't. There's a lot of interesting people out there who haven't made it, that are out there still chasing things, or just said, you know what, I'm not worried about getting up here because I'm having so much fun doing all this stuff down here, and I think someone should get their stories, put them on air,
100%.
and instead of saying I think someone should, I said, how about I fucking get off my ass and I'm the one who does it.
Yeah, exactly. Because you never know. The average Joe today is a famous person tomorrow. You never know. I mean, you'd be like, ha! I interviewed his bitch ass before he was ever famous.
Oh, or you get a situation like Joey Mainframe, who's starting to blow up. I actually had him scheduled for an interview, and then literally 3 hours later, he hits me up and goes, "Bro, I'm sorry, I'm not going to make it. Like, all this shit's happening. Like, I got to go to Cali. I got to go here. I got a video shoot." He's like, "I know I told you 3 hours ago, but right after talking to you and saying yes, things are blowing up. When I get back, though, and we still stay in touch." He's like, "When I get back, I'm definitely going to sit down. I'm going to have all these stories for you, but I'm sorry, I got to go. I got to leave the state."
Yeah, hey. Well, probably, you know what? You can't hate. You can't be mad.
No, absolutely not.
More
You
power
cheer
to
those
you.
people on.
Yeah, like, you do you. Congratulations. And that's the great things, man. It's like to see people just take that next step and to be there for when they were at the bottom and now when they're starting to walk up. It's just beautiful moments, man. It's very nice. It's very nice.
And then you had another thing that you said you wanted to know about before we get too deep into the weeds on anything else. Dealing with the person who just walked through the door late.
Oh, yeah, Joey.
Joey.
Joey over there. Mr. Soundman. I didn't even know he was a soundman. He doesn't even talk about himself. He's so silent. At any time I ever see him, he doesn't talk about himself.
Oh, Parker wanted to know how I knew you, what the story behind that was.
Motorcycle club. Oh, I don't ever see him ride a motorcycle though.
I don't think you can anymore.
I don't
either.
think he can. I think he could do a tricycle maybe. I think he needs those wheels.
Actually, give him credit for the longest time. You couldn't go pretty much anywhere without seeing Joey riding side by side with me.
That's
for
cool.
years.
I
That's how it
love
was.
motorcycles. I mean, my family, we all know about motorcycle riders out of our place.
So, yeah, but you want to know the story. So, when Joey showed up in the motorcycle world, I was pretty new to it as well. You know, but I had a couple months in, and when he first started showing up, and he, bright-eyed, bushy-eyed kid, and I have a certain way about me. I am a bossy motherfucker.
Oh, I mean, of course.
But it's not intentionally to be bossy. It's just I try to give everyone the scoop on what's going to be expected, what people are going to tell you to do. I try to give people the lowdown. I try to lace them up real quick so they're good to go. And but I'm not very diplomatic with it. So after a week or so of that, we're all out together drinking.
Nice.
And Joey went to his pops like, I don't like this motherfucker. I don't like the way he talks to me. I don't like the way he treats me. What do I have to do so I can kick his ass?
Oh. What do you got to do?
Well, first you got to talk to him, man, and lay out your grievances.
All right.
So I get called over by his pops.
All right.
And he's like, these young men have something they want to say to you. And it's him and D-Rod. You know D-Rod?
I don't. Maybe. I got to see his face. Some of them I need to just see a face.
All right. Well, him and D-Rod are side by side in everything they're doing at this point. So I'm like, what's up? And they lay out their grievance. You're on the same level as us, but yes, you've been in longer, but you try to tell us what to do. You try to direct things. You try to run things, blah, 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 blah. I said, listen, I own a company. I run a business. Plus, the guy I'm with won't do shit unless he's directed the whole time. So it's who I am.
It's the alpha mentality.
It's what I do. And it's what it is. Like, if that's that big of a problem for you, is this going to be a one-on-one or am I going to fight you both at the same time? I said, but I got one better for you. Next week, I'm not going to be around. You're going to be working with the guy that I've been coming up with. And even though he's been in longer, he's not going to do shit unless you direct him. Like, you tell him, go do this. All right, you're done with that? Go do that. And you're going to see how aggravating and annoying that is that you have to direct somebody that should be fucking able to, be a team player. So you all have fun with that, and I'll talk to you in 2 weeks about it. We go for a ride out of Palm Beach County up towards Leesburg.
Oh, nice.
And when we get up there, we need to talk to you. I'm going, all right. So they obviously didn't figure out what I was going through, so it's going to be a fucking brawl in this fucking room. They pour out some shots, and they're like, you're right. We're so sorry, bro. He's a total fucking loser. Oh, my God. We get why you were fucking so busy telling everyone what to do because this guy doesn't do shit. He told us to tell him. We're like, you're above us. We can't. No. I'm like, welcome to what I've been dealing with for the last 3 months.
There you go.
And they're like, we love you. Fucking. And since then, like, for months on months, like, every day, Joey and I were side by side on the bikes, going places, being places, and it just carried on for years. And some people call us the twins, inseparable.
The you guys are twinsies.
So yeah, I'm.
For all that stuff. I mean, you look at Joey though. I'm like, yeah, he told me about his motorcycle career. He says it's all like Sons of Anarchy. He says it's exactly the same thing. Ain't that right, Joey?
Only if you mean by it's a lot of riding around doing nothing and drinking at clubs. Okay, then yeah, that's true. But I'll tell you right now, if I got shot at as much as they do in that TV show, I'd be dead about 10 times over.
Oh yeah, yeah. I watched that show, and I from a family full of bikers. From my dad, he's been a biker since like the early '60s, and like and the people that he dealt with, like and all his biker friends, I'm like, that is not at all some of the shit. I'm like,
Oh, in that show. There's only 2 people because I've seen it. I think everyone who's been in the motorcycle world of rides has watched at least one episode, regardless if they lie and say no.
I still don't like the fact is that they sell like the jackets.
Oh no,
That's a little bit ridiculous.
well, it depends. Like if you're buying one to go to a Comic-Con, I get it. Like it's Comic-Con. It's dressing up as a fictional character. It's the same thing as buying a Star Trek fleet uniform. And if that's the case, have at it. Be.
But over there,
Yeah, and I don't get me wrong. Like I'm that weird. In the MC world, but I am also in the Comic-Con cosplay world. So I get it, but stay in the right lane.
Yeah.
Like if you want to buy that shit and wear it, wear it in the proper lane.
Yeah.
Not on the back of a motorcycle.
Yeah, because dealing with that type of like,
Or in your car.
you could piss off some people really badly.
Yep. Oh, you know what though? I'd rather see someone wear a Sons of Anarchy bullshit vest than this new bullshit they got where it says independent. They put some bullshit fucking emblem in the middle and then it says no club rocker on the bottom like they're real bikers.
That's retarded. Can we even say retarded anymore? I don't give a fuck.
I don't know if we can, but we're going to.
Dude, yeah, it's stupid. Well, when I worked at rehab, real quick, one of my guys, we used to call him Minion because he looked like the fucking Minion. You love the Minion, but he was a part of a crew, a sober crew. I think they were like a sect of outlaw. I think.
No, you're talking about alternatives.
Alternatives.
Yeah,
You probably know him, Steve, right?
I love Friedman. Straps.
Holy shit!
That's my boy. I love him, dude. Friedman is
Minion.
one of my favorite people.
Oh, dude, he used to be. I used to work with him all the time. He's one of my favorite techs. Awesome dude, man. I miss working with him.
He's a great person. I love I love Straps. Straps, I love you, brother.
Yeah, he is. Like, I came one day when he shaved his beard off. Like when I worked in the tech, I didn't know what the fuck he was. Like, we got a new guy right here. This is an ugly bald motherfucker right here.
So you'd never seen Steve without his fucking beard before?
No, but like the first time, I didn't even know he could. I didn't even know he had a chin. And then he shaves his beard. And I'm like, oh, we got someone new. It looks like we're gonna have to. Looks like I'm gonna be stuck teaching this guy. And then he talked to him like, oh, that's fucking Minion. Nice. You look weird. Bring back the beard. No, because we used to be chefs and all that stuff back in the day.
Okay.
Like I tell chef stories. He tells chef stories. He used to work at like Dada's and all that stuff, and just like the stress of being chefs back in the day. Just you want to the walk-in cooler and the freezers where curses and death threats are screamed
And uttered where the customers can't hear it.
Oh yeah. It's the thing. But I loved him. I loved his bike, even though it never worked. It always seemed like it was always breaking down, but then again, that's a Harley for you. I love Harleys, but there's a reason why you could tell Harley drivers because they have a pickup truck for when the Harley breaks down constantly. And freaking, I mean, that's what we have. I mean, we have a Harley and all that stuff, and we have a Buell. We have like a Harley and a Buell, and those things are fun.
Yes, Harleys are finicky.
Very finicky.
But at the same time, and it's like anything. It's a fucking motor. You maintain it right, it'll run. You let it. The only thing is Harley's being finicky. You let it go. You let one thing slip, and you're fucked.
Yeah, it's like you just let something. It's like a domino effect. You tap one domino, and whoop, your bike's broke.
But the nice thing is a day or two in your garage, and it's running again.
Speaking of, we should have, man, I would love to have Steve Friedman on here, man, with you. Dude, to have him at the stores and just his.
No, we're not telling stories with Straps. Not happening.
Oh, man, working with, working in the rehab field and all that stuff, it's crazy and all that. So, because you get attached to some, they tell you not to get attached to some of your patients, but you inevitably do.
Because we're human.
Yeah, and
that's part of the human
it's kind of
condition.
like you root for them. Yay, get off the heroin, and then a week later, they died. Well, fuck. And then, but I would teach them how to play guitar and all that stuff. We'd play pranks on each other, even though we're not supposed to. I remember doing this one, checking these rooms with this one thing. and I open up the door handle, and it was not even meant for me. They like sit to pray for the tech before me, and I grabbed it, and my hand went super slick, and I'm like, I opened the door as I'm opening the door at like 12 o'clock in the night. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And I'll just hear the fucking people in the bedrooms just giggling as they're trying to pretend they're sleeping. And I did the whole thing of like, I gotta sniff it. I gotta see what it is. I'm like, please not be shit. Please not be shit. Please not be shit. Sniff it. It's fucking peanut butter. Who the fuck? And I would yell, and I'm like, who the fuck did that? And they just all fucking started laughing. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna play that today. So for the next 7 hours, I tried to just save all my farts for that room, and I would just crop dust them constantly and just turn the light on, close door hard. And they learned that day, don't fuck with me, because I'm gonna just fucking fuck with them. And that's the shit. Some of the shit.
So how many people did you see fall in love in rehab?
Oh, it's apparently in rehab, it's a rent-a-wife, a rent-a-husband. It's like they all fall in love, and it take about, like, they would group up with each other. It's what they call grouping and all that stuff. And they would fall in love with each other within a day or so. They would AWOL, and they normally AWOL from our area called the North Porch, which is just a big open back area. It had a bunch of coyotes killing all the cats back there. And they would AWOL, and about, like, say, 24 hours to 48 hours later, they come back. Or one of them come back because the other one either OD'd or got sick and tired of the other person's shit. And, yeah, a lot of love, a lot of breaking people up from giving each other, like, hand jobs and blow jobs. I don't know how many times I walked into that shit. And, like, that's even at, like, the fucking halfway house that I worked. And I pulled over this one guy who I actually, after all this stuff, I befriended. And he's actually done really well. And he's now, he runs one of the actual rehabs that he works at now. I had to pull him over to the side because he's a good-looking gay dude. And, like, he could get it. Like,
You give it to him, huh?
Hey, if I was gay, I'd give it to him, like, straight up. But I told him, like, I had to pull him, like, dude, this is not an all-you-can-fuck buffet. Let these guys fucking do the rehab, because it's like every other day he having one of the other people who was questioning their sexuality or somebody bi or someone gay in his fucking bed, and I had to fucking separate them because they would do this thing where they would just stick their beds together because we give them a single bed and then charge them $30,000 a month to go for rehab.
13 stepping.
Oh yeah, 13 steppings. Now, we preach the two M's. The two M's are meditation and masturbation. Guess which one they practice the most?
I know which one I practice the most.
Yeah,
meditation.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, no, it's masturbation. Obviously.
Like it was to a point like when I was working there, like I told them, like, bro, guys, if you're practicing your M, because I could fuck off about the meditation. If you're practicing your M, put like a sock on your doorknob, put like a fucking hanger or something, because I'm tired of walking in on you guys going down on each other. And because half the time they didn't even fucking care at this point, because they feel like it's like almost jail at the time, and they're just going to town, and then dealing with the 5 people who bought this like $1,500 crystal projector, and as I'm walking in the room, they're just watching hardcore porn with like Brie Olson and all this stuff, and they kept asking me, "Hey, PCS Parker, you want to watch porn with us?" I'm like, you know what? I don't really need to watch porn with you guys, but have at it. Have fun.
Well, if you don't masturbate, how can you expect me to fuck with you if you don't even fuck with you?
No, it's true. True that. But we did have, we had a couple overdose cases over there.
But most of your ODs, I'm going to guess, are heroin related.
Yeah, the thing is, the problem with the rehab industry, and I'll tell you, this is how you can get someone to get back on the heroin real fast, is we babied them too much. At the very beginning, I even questioned this, and I told them we need to stop doing this. Like, say in a week, we'd set you up with a WIC card, a food stamp card, a WIC card. So you get about, like, depending on the person, you get like $250, $400, depending on what you can do. And then we give you a gift card of $50 a week. Now, and on top of that, we'd take you to IOP or a PHP, and then you would go do your things like your therapy, you practice your steps, and that took about like 6 to 7 hours, and we'd feed you. So that whole entire time, we're babying you. We're feeding you. You don't really need to do anything other than show up, and you're fine. So some of these people would get bored and just not try to find a job or anything, because the one thing we try to emphasize when you're there is find a job. Even though ironically, we tell him you need to find a job so you can pay the $125 rent a month. But then again, it's hard to find a job because we need you to be at your IOP or PHP and no negotiations, no bending the rules. You got to be at a certain time. So it's hard to find a job when the prime job hours are when you're supposed to go to IOP. So they would end up getting stuck there, and they would take their $50 gift card and then go to the nearest drug dealer, which was literally down the street. They give them the gift card because that's just good as cash. And they'd get caps, and then we'd walk in their room, and they'd be like in mid overdose because they'd snort it or shoot it up, and then we'd have to call the ambulance and 911 and get someone to go over there. So we'd normally just drag their ass into the shower and get them cold and wet and just wake them up and all that stuff. We saved a few people in there doing that type of shit, but unfortunately, we did have one death. And it was actually a guy I actually really did care about. I'll give him his nickname I gave for him, Shaggy. He literally looked like Shaggy. I taught him how to play fucking the guitar because he wanted to learn it for his girlfriend. And I was excited for him. And what happened about this is he had overdosed. But the day he overdosed, I did a show and helped set up over at Propaganda called Fuck Heroin. And I kind of got that ball rolling over there with John Jordan because after this, two guys that I knew had died within random succession, my friend Sean May and then Brian McCabe. I don't know if you know him.
Yep, I know Brian.
They both died within a week span and all that stuff. And I got really bummed out because Brian was a cool dude at the time. I heard he became an asshole at some point. But then Sean May was an old school friend. I mean, he had his own business, but he got heroin took him. I mean, his mom walked in on him on his corpse.
Oh, shit.
And we get this show together. We get Channel 12 on there. You can actually find the video of us playing on there. And we got Fuck Heroin. We had Raw, which is Recovery Advocates Worldwide. Their label. We had a bunch of people there. We have a great time. I think we get people. We handed out clean needles so the people weren't ready. We gave out Narcan, and we helped people get into detox. That night was a success. The night I get back to work was the next night. I'm just gushing, I'm excited. I helped out. And Steve, the other tech, was like, "Oh yeah, while you were doing that, we had a fatality." I'm like, "What?" "Oh yeah, one of our patients died," and I asked who it was, and it was the kid I had taught how to play guitar, and apparently he had snuck and got heroin, and he didn't do it and he snorted it, and then I guess it was a bad batch, and for some reason, the tech didn't think it was awkward seeing the guy leaning up, crouching, almost in a crouch, but in the kitchen. So when he walked by him, he just thought he was just crouching and just passed out that way, which I don't know about you if you ever had to deal with people in rehab or people who are addicts. That's not fucking normal. You don't just see someone at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning crouched in the kitchen like that. It's he was just crouched like this. That's not normal. That's turn on the lights and maybe want to check him. And when he turned on the light, he was fucking purple. And of course he did the stupid thing first, not calling 911. He called our boss. "Oh, what's you doing?" "No, motherfucker, you call fucking 911. He ended up getting fired, but yeah, he ended up. They got there. He had been dead for 20 minutes, and if he if he was to call 911, I guarantee the guy would survive.
No, there's no guarantees, unfortunately. But let me ask you this: so you're involved. What do you think of the kratom teas and all that? Because I know that's a big.
It's
thing
another form of. It's a Band-Aid. It's same with Subutex and Suboxone. It's a Band-Aid. And that's all it is. Would I rather see someone do that instead of getting oxycodone or Percocets? Yeah. But if you're already in the rehab, because this is one of the things we used to send people back to rehab if we caught them with kratom and kava, because that's all it is. Because one, it would Christmas tree the piss test, and we get it. They'd be popping for everything, fucking uppers, downers. Weed even got on there for some fucking reason. But it's a form of opiate. It's first off, it tastes like asshole. I mean,
I've never had it. I just know people
I tried it once. I did with it and just stuck my tongue in it, and it tasted like liquid dirt mixed with the most bitter agent ever. And it was not for me. And no, I don't like it. Kratom has it's not as much as heroin, but I know it's the cause of 6 overdoses around the world. But then again, it's probably attuned with something else in the
Oh,
body.
well, I mean, with that, you could say the same thing about sugar, caffeine. I mean, I'm sure at some point it's caused some kind of death. I mean,
Yeah. But no, I don't like it. I feel like I've seen people react on it and seen some people, like close people on it. It's just another form of addiction. But is it as bad as heroin? No. Because with heroin, it's like playing Russian roulette with a gun with a clip.
with a gun with a clip.
Yeah, like it's
Eventually, you're gonna pull the trigger and it's gonna go bang.
yeah, it's gonna go bang, but it's a slower form, I guess, as you call it, suicide. But everything could be addiction.
Well, what do you feel about the I believe it's the Swiss who have a program where they have not just safe injection sites, but it's,
Vitriol.
no, they have like medical facility where you come in if you're a heroin addict, you come in at 6 a.m. They pull up your records, they give you your dose, they put you in a facility where there's psychiatrists, psychologists, etc. There, if you want support, plus there's groups. They monitor you when you are in a physical state enough which you're safe to drive. They let you get in your car, go to your job. You go to work for the day. Now that you've gotten your dose.
Yeah, happy dose.
When you're done with work, you come back to the facility. They pull up your medical records again. They give you a measured dosage, and again, the whole time there's offered of groups, etc. And they sit here and then let you go home. And in the morning, it's rinse and repeat repeatedly. And the whole basis is that no judgment. And when you're ready, they give you, the psychological, psychiatric help that, most addicts really need. Because the one thing I have seen from my limited personal experience is most people who become addicted, especially to opiates, is because they have an underlying unresolved psychological issue that's going on, whether it's from a trauma or they don't feel like they're part, like the big one, like you remember the old this is cocaine, this is your brain on cocaine, and they did the rat thing where they put the rat in a cage and they gave him two bottles, one of water, one with water, liquid laced with cocaine, and the rats just do nothing but drink the cocaine. And then they've recently, in like the last 10 years, they did a second version of that test where they created what they called Rat City. Where they put a bunch of rats together and gave them everything a rat could want. And then they put the waters, one with water, one with cocaine. And in that instance, almost no rats use the cocaine, or if they do, it's recreationally. They'll do it, and then they won't touch it for months or weeks.
In my personal opinion, I think that's how everything should be. I think, first off, I don't think any drug should be illegal. Because you know what you get when you get illegal, you get black market, which, I mean, just look at Prohibition when they were doing alcohol. When they were trying to stretch out alcohol, they were putting antifreeze in it, and you're getting bad batch of stuff. If you regulate it, and if you make it to where it's accessible and where people don't have to hide it, or you don't have to basically jerry rig it up, you're going to get a better product, and therefore I don't have to. It's less likely you're going to overdose. Now, and also if you make it less taboo, and that's the problem with a lot of heroin addicts, it's a very taboo thing. A lot of people don't, when they do heroin, don't want to do it in front of people, and that's how you end up getting people overdosing and dying, because they're going to go slink off to somewhere where you can't see them sticking a needle in them and themselves drooling, and then you end up with somebody overdosing and dying, and somebody and being out of the way. Well, that's what happens. So.
Well, they've shown, like, first of all, any kind of prohibition creates a black market. And with a black market comes organized crime.
Of course.
I mean, look at what we've done to Mexico and Colombia.
They make good money.
If you like, look what's happening. They Mexico, Colombia, they don't grow marijuana really anymore.
No.
Why? Because we've deregulated it, we decriminalized it, we've regulated it now. We decriminalized it. And now look at all the states that are growing.
I mean, look at Middle East with ISIL and ISIS. I mean, they get a lot of the money from the poppy seeds.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, if you take away that criminality, you take away a lot of that money
to the criminal organizations, because they don't need. If you can legitimately, legally sell it, manufacture it, and produce it, you don't need guys with guns to protect it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And but if you're gonna do what we do, if we keep shaming an addict, which is I feel like no one's perfect. And I'm not a religious person, but I used to always say this in rehab. Is like for the people who are super religious, and I would say like, hey, the last perfect person was hung up on a cross. And you just got to look at it like that. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one is perfect. It's okay to not be okay. It is okay to fail. It is okay to fuck up.
Oh, we're getting yelled at from England right now.
Oh, hi, England.
Hi, John. Love you. Miss you and Eve.
Oh,
John was my homeboy in Eve when I played back in the day. Eve Online.
nice, nice, nice. So they're watching live right now?
Yep, watching live right now. Told me to get off the fucking phone.
How we doing over in England? You got any questions for us?
Yeah, John, fucking ask us a question,
Ask
fucker.
us a question. How do you feel about our Independence Day?
Yeah, happy 4th, fucker.
Yeah.
But
Drinking some tea.
So I think we've covered recovery plenty, unless there's a specific story yet also you want to tell.
No, I'll tell you this, like the weird things about like one of the weird things I had to do for when rehab was like the one-on-ones. It's like for any suicidal ideation or if they're like too fucked up, I have to be about no more than a foot away from you. So for 24 hours, 7 days a week, for how long they are until the uppers decide they're good, we have to be there with them. And that means if they take a shit, if they take a shower, I'm literally on the opposite side. So I got to see them. And some of the dangerous things, the funniest things I ever had to do was the strip searches. I am desensitized with the human male body. I've seen probably more dick than everybody. And I don't care how you take it. It's like every time I'm doing a strip search or a pee test, I got to look at the dick. And the funniest thing with people going in rehab is they don't want to come in feeling sick, so that they top
They get
themselves
high
off.
before.
Yeah, well, most of the people do opiates. And what does an opiate do to your body? What does it do? It shuts down your muscles. What do you think your urethra is? It's kind of a muscle down.
So they pee themselves a lot.
Oh, they can't pee themselves. That's the problem. They can't pee, and the only way we can give them the happy juice, the drugs that make them not feel like bad, like starting them off on like the tussin.
They have to urinate?
Oh yeah, and and some of them can't, and then they get angry, and they start screaming at themselves. And once in a while, they'll start punching their dicks, like holding it and just start punching it, and then like they yell at themselves and they get angry, and you have to wait for them for hours on end with the guy just holding his dick, just begging his dick, give him 1 drop, give me 2 drops. And then when they do it and they think they have a success, I'm like, bro, I need more pee than that. But we get that. But then the scariest part of the actual job is not when I'm doing this, like they'll hide drugs in their bodies. Like we make them do coughs and squats for a reason, because once in a while we'll see a crack pipe fall out or a fucking bag of $500 worth of drugs, or we'll search their hair and we'll see like Percocets lined up in there. But the worst thing is,
I don't think I'm hiding any Percocets.
no, I don't think so. But at all. But let's spread them. Let's see what happens. But like the scariest thing is for that is doing the bag searches, because some of these people just have no couth, no like
So there's
responsibility.
just needles laying
Oh
on
yeah, dude. There's like needles, and I'm not talking clean needles. I'm talking
used repeatedly
needles. I'm like, that's a hepatitis, HIV type of fucking scare right there. And I've been around when people got pricked, and I always tell people you open these gingerly. It's like disarming a bomb, and you got to go really slow. You got to make sure you're not going to get pricked with a needle, because then you have to do 6 months of antivirals, which I don't know about.
It's miserable.
Oh, it's miserable. And like, say if you're like because I've seen this one guy who was like 260 pounds, full muscle. By the end of it, he was like 120 pounds. It really saps all your energy and all that stuff. It almost kills you. But they gave us these metal gloves, and even sometimes they wouldn't work because the needles are so small. Yeah. But yeah, we'd have that, and then we'd have people like go crazy. We had like
Care for another?
Yeah, sure. We had a martial artist who was like 5-time champion in there, but he was like what, 67 years old, and he was very angry. I almost got on a fight with him. Had a famous chef in there who I caught on the way down of having a grand mal seizure. Had a guy run out from his room to the street and lay down on the street. Salute. And try to get hit by a car, which is not fun. Because now I'm like, fuck. Now I got to stay with you for the next 8 hours. And then the last one before rehab is this guy. I love him to death as a patient. He was just all about jokes. And
Including his micro penis.
no, there was a guy with a micro penis, and me and Jamal, my other tech buddy that we had, he was this Irish doctor. And when we talk about micro penis, we talk about micro penis. The dick is literally resting on top of the balls. And we tell him to turn around, and when he turned around, me and Jamal looked at each other and we just mouthed the biggest silent laugh ever. And it's because we felt so bad for him. He was Irish. I mean, of course, he's Irish. But getting back to this guy for some reason managed to get. I opened up the door, and he managed to be butt ass naked, laying laying back up, and for some reason he managed to get like fucking whipped cream and a cherry on top on his butt. I'm like, the fuck.
I'm going what the fuck right now.
Yeah. Like the pranks were there. You could always tell what type of addict you have is what they choose for what to eat. Like if it's anything like sour, or
more tea, please.
if it's like sour or like Starburst, they're a heroin addict. If it's like alcohol, beer, it's more like salty stuff like chips and pretzels. You can actually at a certain point you could tell. And the last thing is the 5 smells of rehab. You got Italian sausage, you got salami, you got ranted sweetness, and you got the standard balls and the asshole smell. That's the 5 smells of fucking rehab that you get. It's gross. Don't like it.
So, change the topic with that drink.
All right.
Your photography. I've seen some of your stuff. You shoot a lot of interesting things. What's your favorite subject to shoot?
Honestly, that's easy. I love doing nature. I mean, I do models and all that stuff because that's the way I can make the money. Doing models. Like last night, I did a paternity shoot with this woman, and it was naked one, and those are fun and all that stuff. And I did like silhouettes, but that's cool and all. But I love going out like out west or like where Hope Sound is or where Glades are. Get there around like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night where there's no moon, or even if there is a moon, and catching like the Milky Way, because you can get the Milky Way and all that stuff with an exposure picture, and it looks fucking amazing, and you get all the stars, because you go that way, no light pollution, all that stuff, and you'll see some interesting things. You'll see like I would call UFOs, but it could be anything, but just random weird things. I saw 2 stars explode. I guess you call supernova one time.
So
cool.
Astronomy type based photography is
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, I do that, and I also do like light painting. Like I'll paint like a house, like an abandoned house, and have the stars. I like to capture the moment in the dark. I prefer doing my photography at night. That's like you've ever seen me on my page. Like, who wants to go out at night?
Yeah, I've seen you.
Yeah,
posting.
it's like I like to have people with me because a lot of people just like to stick to the cities. And I realize if you drive the 15 minutes outside the city, you don't get any light pollution, and it looks more keen to like Alabama with palm trees, literally. But I love doing the photography. I started out doing band photography for shows for Rock the Mic. Took pictures for like all the bands, all the Rock the Mic bands, and I think Stitches too. I don't know if you know who Stitches is.
Oh, everyone in South Florida knows who the fuck Stitches is from his shenanigans.
Yes,
especially if you are a regular at Propaganda.
Oh yeah, that day he had that show, we interviewed him upstairs, like for when I was doing my internet podcast shit. And that motherfucker, we almost kicked him out because he started trying to mosh inside our room. And we had like $20,000 worth of gear and equipment in there. And he's getting like way too moshy in there. And he was like bumping into things. And I almost fucking chucked him down the stairs. Because you know that staircase that goes up above Propaganda, right?
No, I'm not familiar with that part of Propaganda.
All right, so here's Propaganda, and there's a door literally to the right. And it says massage up there. So Rock the Mic Studios used to go up there and you make a left. And there it was. That's where we had. That's where we did all our interviews. And they were like building like their fake bricks of cocaine up there at the same time. And the guy is an asshole. Like I feel like he is retard strength. I'll give him that. He looks like he has that retard strength, but the guy is an asshole. Way too cocky for his one-hit wonder that he got because Chris Anderson from The Heat loved his song. That's the reason. That is the biggest reason why he got big. Is Chris Anderson, Birdman, loved his first single, and that they used to play that as a warm-up song at the Heat games.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did that, and it's just like he was just not a fun dude, and he has like a fucking shitty ass tattooed 8K on his fucking face and stitches, and it's very sticky. And he did some stupid shit over at that show. Pulled out a gun, I think, some shit like that. Needless to say, he's not coming back there. Other than that, yeah, that's the type of shit.
Any other interesting podcast stories you want to share since we're on that subject?
Yeah. Oh, Ty Shades, the Ty Shades Experience. That's my boy that I do photography with. He has more of the ends of. I used to help him with strip club etiquette, and that's we go to all these strip clubs to rate them. They give us money and just we do whatever the hell it is.
Well, now, for people who aren't familiar, what would be considered strip club etiquette? Like not throwing quarters at the dancers?
Yeah, do not throw quarters. Do not take your credit card and swipe their asses. That's not how they get their money. Do not have.
Now, I gotta ask. Do you know about in Canada where where dollars are coins? Is that okay then?
I mean, shit. I mean, you could try it. I mean, a dollar is a dollar. Whether it's paper or not. Just, I guess, put it in their butthole. And then like a coin dispensing machine. But no, we used to do that. Had fun. Strippers do not like having phones look like they're filming you. They'll get really angry at you.
Unless they're getting paid for it.
Oh yeah, except if they're getting paid for it. Like we did Monroe's. We did I guess at the time Wild West,
Which is now Scores.
I'll tell you this, Monroe's is a lot better. Or at least back then when I was doing it. The strippers were we had Rubber Doll on. We interviewed Rubber Doll before. I don't know who she is. She actually was in what's that Martin Lawrence and Will Smith movie?
Bad Boys?
Bad Boys. She was in Bad Boys too, in like one of the scenes. And her shtick is she's like in a rubber suit, and she has this like steel strap on, and then she has a grinder and shoots sparks out, and that's like her big thing that she does. We got to hang out with her. We got to hang out with like Vanny Vicious and all that stuff.
None of these names mean shit to me.
Yeah, that's the strip club stuff.
But what kind of, okay, so on the topic, what would you say the big etiquette rules that anyone that's not a regular?
All right, big rules. First off, don't be weird. Don't sit in the back. Get a dance. Do money. If you're just there to like just oogle the girls and just look at the girls, no one likes you. You're automatically an asshole. They automatically hate you because you're not doing money. If you're there and being loud and being way too touchy, like do not touch them. Like for real, like if they touch you, that's cool, but do not touch them because that could get your ass kicked really fast. True. I mean that's it. And spend money. That's all they want. They want your money. If you're in there, there's one reason that you're in there for, to spend money. And if you're not spending money, don't go to a strip club. Just don't throw a 5 and try to get 3 ones back. I mean,
They don't give change?
no, they don't give change. They do not dispense change and all that stuff. What else? But like with the Ty Shades Experience and all that stuff, we get back to the podcast. We would get porn stars we had this one dominatrix, and a lot of the stuff we couldn't show on camera because it was XXX. But she'd bring her slaves, and we'd make her slaves do things. She commanded them to do stuff. We had a big black dildo at that time just stuck on the wall. Oh, it was hilarious. Some of the stuff was just gnarly. You look at them like spitting in each other's buttholes or stuff like that.
Whatever floats their boat.
Yeah, like they were straight on fucking off camera. And we just pointed a microphone so we could hear everything. Damn, I'm a fat person on there.
All right, so we've got a question from the crowd going back. What do you think? Someone wanted to know, Major Havoc. Thanks for sending it.
Hello, Major Havoc.
He wants to know what major social change do you think we could institute that would have a major change on the opiate crisis in the U.S.?
Don't treat junkies like assholes. If you treat somebody like an asshole and like, it's cool to be give them hard love, but just don't look down on them. Like, don't constantly just look at them like scum, because you know what? They're never going to want to change. Because then their mentality when they come into rehab, their mentality is this fucking low. And like here's normal mentality. They're like right here, and you got to give them love. You got to give them show them it's okay. Like if you show an acceptance, like, hey, we all fuck up, we all fail. A failure is nothing but another way not to do something. It is okay. We're not perfect, and you show them that it's okay. It's okay that what you did, it's all right. We can get you better. They're gonna want to try. They're gonna want to get better, and you know what? It won't. Sometimes it takes more than one time. And there's plenty of people that I know that are really successful now went in rehab 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 times, and it finally just clicked one day.
All right. I hear what you're saying. So let me put a mental mindset change to things then. Because I've heard in the rehab world, they say, you know, addictions and a disease and all this stuff. So let's change that. I hear what you're saying. So let me sit here and put an earworm in your ear and the audience's ear then. Let's get away with that bullshit. And I do think it's bullshit that addiction's a disease. Let's really call it what it is. Addiction's a psychological disorder. It's a mental disorder that needs to be treated just like any other mental disorder, not with medication.
It's both. All right, because so for one thing, sometimes you got to think an addiction is this. You could have PTSD,
Which is a psychological disorder.
Which is But then again, you could really fuck up your back, and then the doctor prescribes you fucking oxycodone, and then your body, you get used to taking oxycodone, and then when they take away the oxycodone, you can't find it. You try to find it on the street, and then when you realize heroin metastasizes into morphine, that's one of their things, and it starts becoming, and it's $20, you start taking that.
Okay.
Because there's multiple ways to get addicted.
I understand, but even with that, if you're taking it, you're trying to say but it's still not a disease. If you're taking an opioid for pain management because that's what you were given.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I understand it has a strong psychological, like especially Oxycontin, has a strong psychological component of how it makes you feel. But it's still, in reality, it comes back. And I'm not saying that it's because of weakness or anything else. It's a psychological issue that's created, a psychological dependency. There's additional parts that are involved with it. I'm not disputing that, of, you know, when it comes to pain management, but again, it's just like schizophrenia or any other, or PTSD or whatever. I'm not saying it's something just sitting down talking to someone's going to fix it.
Yeah.
But if we...
But it helps.
It does help. So what I'm saying is though, if we stop saying it's a disease, which a lot of people are going to go, that's a cop-out. It's not just, oh, I got it. Because if it was a disease, you take a couple of antibiotics and it'd be gone. But if it's a psychological...
It could be a man-made disease.
Let's call it what it's a man-made created psychological issue. It is a...
I wouldn't say psychological for the mere fact is withdrawal is real.
Okay, I agree with you that the withdrawal is a physical aspect of it.
Yeah.
But again, withdrawal sucks.
Yeah, you know what I say to them? You know what I say? Embrace the suck.
Okay, that's, again, psychological treatment, though. So if we accept that it is a psychological, the dependency itself, yes. But again, it comes down to people who don't, there's some heroin addicts out there that they don't use heroin because they're getting high. They're taking heroin and they do it long term because they don't want to get dope sick.
Oh, but you know what you call those? And the same with alcoholics. They're functional alcoholics. To a certain point, that could work. I mean, I was taking care of an engineer that was doing heroin for 60 years. But he got retired, and when he retired, he wanted to get off of it. But he was using it for 60 years. And it is psychological, but it is a disease at the same time. It's weird.
But is it a disease, or is it a true? No, and I'm like I said, I
feel like it's a disease because it's almost like you contract it. Like when you get an addiction, so it's almost you contract it. So
okay,
it's almost like a disease.
So what do you say? People who, and there are people out there who recreationally use heroin without an addiction, and they'll use it once a
They're
month.
lucky. Like literally, they're lucky. There's people who can. Do I say? My first thing is when I even now to this day, if you could control your party and you can just do you and have good times and not become a burden on society, whatever. That's why I think also that's why I have no problem with like what you said with Canada, or was it where they have places where they could just do their
I
stuff?
believe it's Switzerland. If I'm
Switzerland.
correct.
I have no problem with that because you know what? That makes it. It's like that's a more accessibility thing. The more it's cool, the less people want to do it. You know how it's like when your parents will like it, and it's like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. My parents like it.
Well, the reason why I bring it up, and I say it, is because their studies, and they've done massive studies since it's now government funded.
Yeah.
Is that once these people who are heroin addicts start accepting the psychological treatment without it being pressed upon them, but accept the psychological treatment and start participating in it, they have like a 95% recovery rate with only like a 10% relapse rate.
Yeah, we had this,
Which I mean, being in the industry,
which is good.
What's
I
the
mean, it's
relapse?
not good for me, my industry, but it's good.
But what's the relapse rate in the United States for people going through rehab in Florida?
Dude, I would, they'd get out. I'd see within 2 weeks. There's literally January 1st is the hell week for us because that's when all of the patients have their insurance re-upped because they go for a certain point of time where they get about 6 months where they can use it. They'll run through that shit and then they have to basically fend for themselves for 5-6 months. But as soon as that thing comes back, they're already in here. I used to already get on the patients like saying, yo, you're only doing this. You're only coming in here right now because I know you don't want to get better. You're just doing this because your high is getting too expensive. So what you're doing is you're giving yourself a 2-week reprieve so you get your tolerance brought down a little bit so you don't have to spend more money than you used to. That's the thing is we used to have a therapist who used to talk to our patients who would fight every tooth and nail about everything we said to them to help them. And he said, like, why are you here? You're missing good high time. If you're not wanting to listen to the therapist and do what the therapists are asking you to do, go out, get high, because obviously you are not ready. You have to be ready to be sober.
Listen, so I agree that addiction is more of a psychological issue and needs to be treated in society the same as any other psychological issue. There is so much less of a stigma for depression and people seeing a therapist, so why doesn't society treat opiate addicts with the same?
So our commenter is saying
Time
that
out 1 second. Why doesn't he have a mic? He has such a good voice for a mic.
he doesn't get on the mic. Hey, yeah, that's a constant question we get. At some point, once we convince him, we will be setting up a microphone at the studio control panel that he can get on without ever worrying about being on camera. But
Man, that was my favorite thing was when I used to do the rotten mic. When it was not my time, I'd be the voice, the god mic. I'd be in the god mic. I'd be asking questions and doing all that stuff off camera.
So, but what our commenter is saying is if we change the social dynamic of instead of saying it's a disease, if collectively we agreed that it is what it is, which is a psychological disorder, society as a whole would be more accepting of it, just like they become more accepting of depression and anxiety with the understanding.
I agree with that.
You know, not to put down what you're saying, but if we collectively went, look, let's be fucking honest, even if we're putting a little bit to the side of it being a physical, dependency issue, but collectively stop going with it's a disease and going it's a psychological disorder. Society as a whole is what our commenter is saying, is he would agree society as a whole would be more accepting of it, and which would help destigmatize the issue, which would allow more people to get help, which good would be better for society as a whole.
And the only way to get that fixed and starting to get that fixed, and I did that with the patients, is simply talk to them. You just simply talk to them. Because that's the thing is they don't feel like that.
It's just not talk to them. It's talk to everybody, like we're doing
I
right
understand
now.
that,
So
but
things like what we're doing right now.
But if you know somebody who's an active addiction and needs help, talk to them. Because sometimes they feel like they don't have anybody to talk to. And like,
wait, so you're saying slapping them around and telling them how stupid they are doesn't work?
No.
What about kicking them out of the house? That works. That's got to work, right?
Nah, man. Nah, yeah, that 100% works never.
100% works never.
No, it's like you simply talk like.
No. How about we shame them?
Oh yeah, 100%. You definitely.
No, that,
I mean,
that,
we
that
did-
doesn't work.
No.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. I know what in this case I know what'll work. We're gonna yell, scream, and break things and tell them how they're destroying themselves.
Yes, exactly. I mean, exactly, 100% that would work. I mean, but also one thing
And that was sarcasm for anyone
Yes,
that
that
doesn't
was-
fucking get it.
that was hard sarcasm. Don't worry. But like I tell him, I try to give him like good stories, like Robert Downing Jr., heroin addict.
And huge cokehead. Thank you, Rob.
Freaking Eric Clapton, huge heroin addict. Stevie Ray Vaughan, heroin addict. You can get better, and you can strive. It just because you fell down doesn't mean you can't get back up, and it's okay. Like I said, I continue to say this: it is okay not to be okay, and it's okay to fail, because it's a new lesson not to do it.
Well, you said something very important. Because it's okay to fail, and that applies to everything in life.
Yeah.
As long, I'm going to put a caveat on that. As long as you learn something from the
Oh, yeah.
failure.
But sometimes you need to learn failure a few times.
Absolutely. You're not going to learn everything that you need to learn from a single failure.
Matter of fact, in life, you're probably going to fail more than you're going to succeed. That's just life.
Unless you're perfect like me, which I'm not perfect at all. I fail fucking a lot, but no, but that's a key aspect of it is it's okay to fail as long as you learn something. You don't have to learn everything from the failure. And yes, I agree with you. You're going to fail again and again. But if you constantly are learning from those failures, they'll get to a point where it's not luck, it's not happenstance, it's knowledge, experience that you will figure out how to succeed because you've learned so much from your failures that you just end up knowing what you need to and
You
how
need
to
to
make
know
the
your
right
triggers.
moves.
You need to know your triggers.
Not even sure. You know how to make the right moves when things come. The know, just like a video game or anything else. I need to move left.
Yeah.
On this, I need to move right. This, I got to jump. This, I duck. Now I have to stand still and not move for 10 seconds.
Yeah. Breathe. Reset yourself. If negativity shows up, go the other way. That was one of our things we used to plaster on the wall. If negativity shows up, go the other way. Another thing I used to tell them is look, I used to use use of euphemisms or whatever to say that.
A euphemism?
Yeah, I used to say like a couple things like you're like Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde, Mr. Hyde, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like that's how addiction is. You got your good part because a lot of the people who are addicts are nice people. For the most part, we're nice people, and then some shit happens and they become addict, and like their addict side is really shitty. And when they come into rehab, I also tell them like this: you come into rehab to almost die. You're almost coming into rehab to die. And when they ask, what do you mean to die? I'm coming here to get better. Well, no, you're trying to kill off your old self because your old self wasn't working. Your old self was making you suck dick for $20 to go get yourself a crack rock or a cap to shoot up heroin. You come in there trying to just reset yourself, kill off your old self, and shed the new skin, and almost like a phoenix rise from the ashes. And it works. If you instill positivity, this is one thing I noticed. If you instill positivity, they got a chance. Because I don't know how many times I talked people out from AWOLing, literally about to just AWOL, because they couldn't handle it. Because there's like a 13-day wall that all patients have in there where they're just wanting to leave, that they're done. They need to go. I can't have it. Yeah, it is. Failure.
So the comment is for those who aren't reading the comments, which you should be. The quote Einstein, failure is success in progress.
Exactly. Love Einstein. Wacky beard.
I like
Asshole
his
to
hair.
women, though. Asshole to women.
Was he an asshole to women, or did he just not know how to talk to them?
Well, he made lists to one woman, like his married wife. He gave her a list of things she can and can't do. I mean, then again, I have my opinions on famous people like John Lennon. Everybody loves him. I think he was a huge asshole. Used to beat his kids. He used to be an adulteress and all that stuff. Elvis Presley, kind of a pedo.
Don't you dare say a naughty word about the king.
He was pedo.
Of course he was a pedo. I'm joking.
I'm about to say, like, 14-year-old girls stay in the night and him being like 30 years old. Come on. Well, I mean, then again,
What? Are you saying there's something wrong with what he did? Are you defaming the king on my
I'm
podcast?
defaming the king. Thank you very much.
Well, tell us more.
Now, I love the idea of rehab, but there are also
the
things.
execution's kind of lacking.
Some of the things like I mean, there's like the reason why the rehab business in itself is dying down here is because we got asshole people who own halfway houses and force and like let the patients do whatever they want. They'll sell them fake pee. They'll turn out the women prostitutes. There was this one black guy. I can't think of his name, but he had his own.
Hey, pimping ain't easy, brother.
I know. He had them strapped down, like literally strapped down to beds, and they were just getting pimped, literally. He got life in prison. My friend, she actually went to that rehab.
Hopefully he gets turned out in prison too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know they say no negativity, but yo, homies, you find that son of a bitch
Gape him.
busting
Gape 'em.
cheeks.
Bust some cheats. Do it right now.
Let us know. We get you some ramen.
Yeah. For every inch, a box of ramen.
You heard it here. Welcome to Florida, where we know people everywhere.
Yeah. Now, what's your favorite thing of Lake Worth?
My favorite thing of Lake Worth?
Yeah, just fuck it. Topic change right now.
My favorite thing of Lake Worth would probably be actually, and I know a lot of people are gonna fucking think I'm weird, the food.
Oh, what's your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant is Rum Shack.
Dude, stuffed meatloaf. Do not shake your head over there, Mr. Joe.
No. Okay, so I don't know. Most people don't even know what's on their fucking menu. They have potato skin, loaded potato
Oh, yeah.
skins with pulled pork
Uh-huh.
with barbecue and cheese.
That's delicious.
Have you ever had it there?
Yes, I've had all their stuff.
Okay, a lot of people don't know that's on their fucking menu.
The one thing they can't make is pizza because it's like that microwave pizza. The one place I did not like, CJ's that much. They used to always make me
Aren't they
sick.
closed now?
They're closed. Yeah, that's why I can talk shit about them.
See, I can't talk shit about CJ.
Dave's is another place. I used to get sick from every time I ever ate there. I used to get sick from them.
I can't talk shit about CJ's. That's where I started out my barback and bartending career.
The good old days.
Yo, yeah, that's almost 20 years ago.
Now, you know about propaganda and all that stuff, right?
I've never heard of propaganda.
But you
Tell
know-
me about it.
You know that place is haunted, right? Like upstairs, that we used to do this deal. When we used to do the Rock the Mic upstairs of it, we'd get this shit where we'd be in there until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just setting up stuff, doing studio stuff, and I would do late night podcasts where people get on. I would just play music for them. We have cameras around all through the top deck, and we would see these orbs, and we would just see these like mists. Like when I'm talking like mist of like a person just walking around the fucking top.
Are you sure that's not a rat high on cocaine?
Could be a rat high on cocaine, but unless that rat's 6 foot tall, I don't think it's a rat.
Oh, that would be a rat of unusually large size.
Yes, but it is haunted. The inside propaganda,
Inconceivable.
propaganda itself is pretty haunted. The Lake Worth Playhouse is really haunted. My brother.
Okay, you keep saying haunted. I don't think that word means what you think it means.
I do. What else? But yeah, I love downtown Lake Worth.
So what is your favorite thing about Lake Worth then?
The culture, like the lack, the
lack of culture?
I mean, sorry, the culture, what you can get down there. One thing I wish is we'd stop. Like, I love all our musicians down there, but please, guys, can we stop covering Sublime and Bob Marley?
I don't practice Santeria because I can't sing at all.
Oh, dude, it's like if I didn't have to listen to another Pink Floyd song, another Sublime song, or another
Hey now,
Nirvana
hey
song
now,
in my life, I'd be
don't
happy.
say it. I can't sing for shit, by the way.
Oh my god, my ears.
People, I go into a bar for people go, "Ooh, you sing karaoke?" I'm like, "Why? You trying to close the bar now?"
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'll do it. I got no shame in my game. Just no talent either.
Hey, you asked for this.
You, my fans, demanded this, so shall your ears bleed.
Are you not entertained?
Again, inconceivable.
Inconceivable. Speaking of, do you know where that? Yeah, I wonder if anybody knows where that's from.
If you don't, it's this little movie, also a book,
Yeah.
very, very well known.
It has a guy from. He has a guy from. What is that TV show? I can't think of the damn fucking name right now. Wonderworld. Wonder Years. Yeah, what are yours?
Yes, he's the kid that Grandpa's telling the story
Yeah.
to. So
Love-
yeah, I've got no clue what movie it is.
No.
It's gonna take a miracle.
Yeah.
Yes, these quotes are from The Princess Bride.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say let them guess, and if anybody guessed it right, they got a $25 gift card from you.
Not from me. I'm broke. They're shit out of luck.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, The Princess Bride.
You never seen The Princess Bride? Boy, you gotta watch it, man.
These kids these days.
These kids. What Joey's born in like 1995, right? 91. He's a 90s kid. That's why.
Fucking millennials.
Youngin. Yeah, youngin.
Yeah, fucking millennials. I mean, come on, get over it. Yes, the baby boomers fucked up the economy, the housing market. They fucking convinced you that you had to take on all this debt and go to college to get degrees that are useless. But it's not their fault. It's yours.
Yeah.
That's what you get for
Damn
believing those
millennials.
fucking adults.
Yep. So, what else? We talked about radio. Radio time. Like, we have our influences and all that stuff. And one of my influences for me personally,
not just what. Who had the biggest influence and what age were you at that time?
5 years old, Neil Rogers. Loved him. He's probably the first person to actually start doing shock jock stuff. I think he was even before,
Way before Howard Stern.
way before Howard Stern. I remember my dad buying the compilation CDs and remember back in 97, 98 where that Russian submarine got sunk and all that stuff. Well, they would take events and all this stuff, and they did
Parody songs.
songs with this, and they did instead Yellow Submarine. They'd have "We all died in the Russian submarine, the Russian submarine, the Russian submarine," and they did one with Elian Gonzalez with Backstreet Boys, and it's just his stuff. Him always saying that he was a gay atheist Jewish guy. It was hilarious. He'd always piss off all the callers. He'd hang up. He was the first one I'd always know.
That would hang up on a caller.
Yeah, it was straight up. And it was back in the day where you can actually hang up on somebody, so you could hear that nice little crush of the phone hitting the freaking dial. And then hockey. He was one of the first people I knew that actually liked hockey.
Well, my favorite, I remember listening to him because of my dad. My favorite thing was when people would be like, "Oh, you're just some fucking pissed off faggot." And he's like, "Duh, no kidding, you dumb fuck. Do you not listen to my goddamn show?"
Yeah. He was one of my major influences. Then when I started doing my podcast, I wanted to kind of have something like that, but also the Love Doctors, real radio, just people just like how you do it here, just chewing the shit, talking about random ass shit. And I liked it. I like it that way. Scripted shows to me, radio shows, kind of boring to me.
So with that, who out in the sphere modern, that's doing that you're still that you kind of follow that impresses you that you like whether
you might hate this. Bubba the Love Sponge. I do not know why, but he kind of reminds me. He's like a redneck version of Neil.
I know who Bubba the Love Sponge is.
I don't like Bubba himself per se because I feel like he's an asshole, but I like his tertiary characters right behind him. I feel like they're funny and all that stuff. But him and honestly the Dan Le Batard show, sports with Stu Gatz, just the random wonkiness that he does and the people they bring up, and with Le Batard, it just makes me laugh. They keep it entertaining.
You know who I actually like, and a lot of people aren't going to know this unless they're in another the current quote unquote radio host guy who's got a show going on that I really like what he does is Charlemagne the God.
Charlemagne. Can't think of. He's from New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not apologetic for who he is and what he is. He's like, I love white pussy. I can't help it. I love all pussy. Point blank just says what he fucking what it is. He doesn't apologize for it. He's like, yeah, I've been a fuck boy.
Mm-hmm. At least he admits to it. That's the best thing. It's just admit to it. Be you.
He's him. He's
you,
unapologetically. He's like, look, I get both. He'll tell you, I get both sides.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. Now, who's your what is a radio show you think of that's overrated and annoys the piss out of you?
A radio show
or a TV show? We'll expand it. It'd be TV show or radio show.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
Or we'll even expand it to YouTube because I know you like to go down that rabbit hole.
That's the thing. None of it really. It doesn't bother me. I just go, that's not for me. And I guess it goes we were talking about the positivity and negativity.
Yeah.
like I see something, I'm like, it doesn't do anything for me, and I don't have any feelings towards. Like I just don't spend that energy, that emotion, because I just go, oh, whatever. That's their thing. People like it, whatever. The closest thing that I could think of, I really can't. Like, there's nothing I've been gone. I'm like, whatever. Like, I mean, you'll never catch me watching. What's that show that people are always on with Whoopi Goldberg? Like,
Oh, The View.
Yeah, like that's the closest thing of like I'll see it and I'll be like, yeah, that's getting turned off.
Yeah,
Like,
see, when working at when I was working at K&M Electric, that was always on in our break room. So that was the only thing we could watch. So all of us drivers, that's the thing we used to watch for like 6 months.
and it's not because of anything. Like, I think Whoopi's fucking hilarious. I'm like,
Her best movie is Ghost, straight up,
wow.
straight up Ghost. Patrick Swayze.
Look, I'm ugly, not stupid.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm kidding.
I
JK,
appreciate the
JK.
compliment that I'm not ugly, but nah.
But
There's Whoopi had a lot. Jumping Jack Flash was a much better movie with Whoopi Goldberg
Yeah.
than Ghost. Sorry. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved her playing the medium. Oh shit, there's a real ghost.
yeah.
She's a great actress.
Yeah. Wish she'd do more.
I think she does. She's great doing commentary on The View. I don't care for the
Yeah.
show. I don't like. I'm not a fan of any show that's super structured. Like literally, if you've watched enough of it, you can like
you can tell.
Murray, any of that shit. Like you're like, okay,
You know what's gonna happen.
exactly. There's no,
It's like watching your favorite movie over and over again. You just know what's gonna happen.
and it's not even enjoyable at this point. I mean, yeah, it can be entertaining, but like, no, that's just a thing for me. Like, there's nothing like, oh my god, I hate this. I don't hate. I just, if it's not for me, I let it go. I pass on. I don't spend any time on it. There's just no room. Like, why would I expend the energy, time, inclination? Like, I know people focus on it. They get hooked on things like, oh, I can't stand that guy. I can't. Look,
But you know what? And again, as I can't stand it. Any type of form of like, especially comedy, it should at least elicit either you having fun or pissing you the fuck off. And that's the one thing I do like. That's why I kind of like Louder with Crowder. He pisses off everybody.
I don't understand getting pissed off. Though. Like,
Me either, but it's
Well,
hilarious.
you got keep in mind, I do have Asperger's, so I don't understand some of the things that people like. I don't grasp why, just because you disagree, why does it piss you off? It does it. Like, the only reason why I've come to think it pisses people off is because some part of what someone's saying resonates as true, and it completely conflicts with their point of view, and they refuse to accept it. That's the
It's
only
projecting. They're basically projecting themselves.
That's the only reason why I can understand it pisses you off is what they're saying rings true. It's counter to what you believe to be true, and you refuse to accept it. Therefore, you get upset because you don't want to face the conflict in your own personal view.
Yeah, 100%. Great. Yeah,
You know?
that's like that. I don't get why people get angry at a lot of things, man. I might be trolling on my Facebook just because I'm bored and I throw out that lore, and then somebody snags it.
Like I got into a I call it a discussion with a guy. He posted something on his Facebook page about, marriage is between a man and a woman. It's a holy thing, but homosexuality is an abomination.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
they could eat a dick.
well, first of all, nowhere in the Bible does it say homosexuality is an abomination in the New Testament. It doesn't say that anywhere.
Nope.
More importantly, and he's like, well, homosexuality acts. There's no such thing as homosexuality acts. Homosexuality is simply the attraction to someone of the same sex.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to explain this to him repeatedly. I'm not disputing whether or not having sex with someone of the same sex is a fucking against the Bible, because having sex with anyone that's not your spouse is a sin in the Bible.
Yeah. Lusting after somebody could be a sin in the Bible.
So, but homosexuality, and I'm like, you're not a Christian if you're going around saying homosexuality is an abomination. You are judging someone simply for a desire. That's against the Bible. That is against the Bible. And this dude, I'm like, so and the few people that are on his side, I'm like, so, and they're all guys. I'm like, so essentially, you guys are all the quote unquote successes from conversion therapy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm pulling definitions. And I'm like, do you not? They're like, well, seeing something and saying what it is isn't a judgment. I'm like, stating your opinion on something is the definition of judgment.
Yeah, they just don't want to be yelled at.
I don't give a
And
fuck.
you know what? The problem is the people like that, they tend to stay in a vacuum that only bounces with people just
correct.
bounce off the same thing.
Well, and my favorite part is they're like, well, we're Christians, we're trying to save souls, but we don't want to associate with people like that. I'm like, people like what? They're people.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be about love and setting an example and demonstrating what your religion's about, but you won't talk or associate with people.
No.
So you're a hypocrite. You're a self-righteous, prideful asshole.
Those people are the ones, like I said, will only talk to people who have like minds, and they don't ever listen to anything that says anything else, because they don't want to hear the word no. They probably never heard the word no in their life.
Oh, they need to be punched in the face more.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the people like that I have no time for. There was this guy that I actually got him kicked out of his own band 2 days ago.
Yeah, I heard about that. I saw that.
Hey, Dale. How we doing, Dale?
Fucking moron.
Like gay people that shouldn't shouldn't be able to like have kids or adopt kids, and like my mom's one of my mom's friends back in the early '90s was one of the first like cases to try to get like him and his partner. They were trying to get a kid and all that stuff, and they were battling through the court system, and it even went on the news. But they got the kid. The kid was raised up good with passion and love. None of them try to like molest him. It's like I feel like that's what they think. It's like they're immediately going to either try to molest them or turn them gay. No, they're just trying to be parents to a kid that has none. What's so hard to see about that?
What's wrong? I mean, we already know statistically, and this is proven statistics. A child with two parents, keyword is two parents, statistically do better in society than a child that has a single parent household.
Yeah.
Never mind a kid in the foster parent system. So what? Because it's against your religious views, you're gonna fuck a kid over? I thought you were supposed to care about these people.
They actually don't, and it's a hypocrisy of Christianity and most religions. It's like, let's not group just.
I would say most religions, absolutely.
Those are like the only ones I haven't really seen anything bad for, are like Tibetan monks. Like they're like nice, but I guarantee they probably have asshole things too.
You know what the funny? You know and I'm not a fan. I'm not like, oh my god, fanboy of the religion. I don't necessarily care one way. But you know who the least hypocritical religion out there is?
What?
The Church of Satan.
Yeah.
The Satanists. Like, of all the churches who are not hypocritical and actually give a fuck about people, it's the Satanists that are the least hypocritical and give a shit about the most people the most. It's like kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's like, just don't be an asshole.
Essentially, that's their.
Don't
whole
be an asshole. Be nice. And like,
oh, it's not even don't be an asshole. It's don't be an asshole for no reason.
and I feel like with people like this, so like the book was written by man, like the Christian book, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, they're all written by man, so they all have infallibles in there, because the people who wrote them probably put in stuff they don't want to see. So you got to deal with that type of shit too. And so the books are not perfect. They're not written by God. They're written by man. So there, right there, you should always take everything with a grain of salt.
Or tequila with a lot of salt.
Tequila with a lot of salt. Where's tequila? Where's it at?
We're about to pour, but I got to take a quick piss. Joe, come on, hop in real quick so I can go.
Oh, God. Is he going to grab my titty again?
Do you molest him?
Yes. Every time he sees me a prop, he grabs my moob.
You sit over there.
He grabs my moob.
We'll adjust the camera real quick. Now you're going to sit in my chair real quick?
Nah. I don't trust him. So, how we all doing today, guys, out there in the interwebs? Parker Rockenstein. I am in a band called Embers Dawn, and I do photography. So if y'all are interested, come find my stuff. It's down below in the description. Hopefully.
I'm Joey.
And hey, what's up, Joey, Mr. Moob Grabber himself? How we doing?
Chilling, tired.
Nice.
Been a long day.
What did you do?
I woke up at like 12 and then played PUBG.
No, do you play it online, like on the
On Xbox.
Xbox? See, I've been playing it on my phone.
Oh,
I've
that's
been
bullshit.
Oh, dude, I've been getting so many chicken dinners on that bitch. It's a hard motherfucker to play on.
Are you still playing bots?
No, it's no more bots on there. At the very beginning, it was nothing but bots, but now it's like really competitive on there, and you got like teams and clans and shit like that.
I've been playing that. Like I have it on my phone, and I started playing the fucking team deathmatch thing.
Yeah,
That one's cool. That's the only one I play.
I play the old school one. I like to where when you can aim, you can actually move your phone around and you can
Oh
just do
hell
that
no,
shit.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm really good at. I keep at least get in the top 10. I've won probably like
Do you
10
play
times.
with like an iPad though or something?
No, I literally play with this phone.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's definitely a good. It's a definitely good pastime for shitting.
Upgraded Jason.
You're gonna with hair.
Jason 2.0.
Yep. I saw that. I saw your lady was on here yesterday, or was it the day before?
4th of July. Yeah.
She is a natural at
She
this
is.
stuff.
She wants to do her own little sex talk show or
Dude,
something.
we used to have the Tie Shades experience. It's fun. You get a lot of people in there.
Yeah, her and Jeanette really want to do it because the two of them together, they're just like fucking ridiculous.
I mean, we used to pull out like butt beads out and all that stuff, and
word.
vibrators, and like, we'd have these these chicks just describe what they did. It was basically almost like a sex infomercial at the
Oh,
time.
word.
Yeah, and we'd get like
I
we'd
don't
do
want you
live.
putting any anal beads in your butt on camera though, babe.
Oh.
Sorry.
But how about your butt?
Nah, that's a one.
Just how about a pinky? Just
You
how
know,
about a pinky?
notice I thought about it.
You thought about it way too long. Way too long. You thought about that.
Yeah, he was like, maybe if you just a tip, just a tip.
Get out of my
Deuces.
That's why I normally put him in his own chair because he'll fucking not want to get up.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
And he's got a big fucking head, and he keeps fucking with my headset.
Probably because he has hair.
Yeah, that will do it. I don't have hair. I'm bald as fuck. Don't care.
No hair, don't care.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Should do a mohawk, Joey. Do it like the Chuck Liddell.
Did you just call Chuck Liddell gay? He's gonna whoop your ass.
I don't know. Give you enough tequila, maybe question yourself.
And problem, we're out of tequila.
You know. Oh,
You
that's
want
fine.
whiskey?
Oh, whatever.
Hey, open up the bottle of Jack Daniels, please, Joe.
But you know who you need to get on the show? Because I don't know if you have gotten on the show, but I suggest you get on the show. My favorite black man, Mr. Michael Morrison.
That would be awesome.
You know, funny thing you said that. I'm in talks with him about getting him on here.
Do you know he has the most sexiest voice ever? It makes you question your sexuality.
Did you know he used to be a professional singer? That he's
Yeah.
on actual albums as a professional singer.
I've seen him play
internationally.
live. I didn't know that.
No, he's an international recording artist. He actually has been accredited on international songs.
Well, you know what's my favorite thing though with him is he could beat the shit out of you and sing you sweet nothings, and you'd be okay with it.
I don't know if Michael Morrison was beating the shit out of me. I don't know that I'd be okay with it.
I mean,
he'll hurt you.
First off, you have no chance of winning because he's like a pit bull. He just, except for when it comes to.
There you go. Pour yourself up.
That is a man's drink right here. Besides tequila.
He's loving it. Yeah, probably help to put the bottle down.
Yeah, put the bottle down. See, that's what I'm keeping an eye on. Somebody just drink this. All right, salud.
Salud.
Jack Daniels in the eye.
Beautiful. That's
Nice.
got a sting.
Oh yeah. Oh man, but like Michael Morrison, sexy voice will beat the shit out of you.
That makes sense. When they used to clink glasses and say a little in your eye, now it makes sense.
Yeah. Can I get some water again?
Yep.
Yeah. Gonna drink it all. All this talking makes me parched.
It makes you parched.
Yeah.
A little thirsty.
Yeah, like him and like with Matthew, and then having Matt and Michael would be a hilarious ass show because they could probably tell you some really screwed up stories of propaganda.
No, we're not gonna be going into that. This Krug, him and I have a topic, a very specific topic we're going to be discussing, which is really interesting. He's one of the few people out there that I truly believe, not just truly believe, but have seen that he completely understands a part of a lifestyle that not everyone's a part of or understands or.
You mean
gets.
the whole BDSM thing?
Correct.
Yeah. My I don't know if I told you yet. My friend, she's a dominatrix, and she used to do a lot of pegging porn. So she always asked me to find guys for her. So far, I've only found 2. So if you're interested in getting pegged, Joe, by all the way,
Yeah.
by all means.
No, not pagan.
Pegging.
Pegging.
Pegging. Google it.
No. He's like, what's pagan porn? I'm guessing that's where people go out and they do pagan rituals out by a fire and then they have sex.
Yeah, they get a what are they? They find a pole and they do things around the pole and then they have sex orgies, shit like that. Oh, I got to tell you a funny story about my singer Nova and my band Embers Dawn. We're having practice and all that stuff, and we were just doing a video and where it's like, the casting couch. She does not know what the casting couch is. Told her to Google it.
Did she?
Oh, she now knows what the casting couch is. I'm like, I did not know that's what they did. I'm like, what do you think the casting couch? I always kept hearing about the casting couch. I didn't know what it was. Well, that's what it is.
It's where you go for casting in a part, and then it gets used for something else.
Yes. Yep. Oh, things I used to doing driving and all this stuff. I worked at Delray Motors as a driver, and I used to go to Fort Lauderdale and Miami. And well, my friend used to do porn and all that stuff, and she would take a train up to Fort Lauderdale, Broward, and then she'd need to be picked up and taken to Hollandale, the very tip of Miami, Ives area, to go to her sets. So when I was down there, I used to pick her up. I'd pick her up at Reality Kings or Bang Bus, which was in Broward. Now, if you ever walked into those places, it smells like Daddy's Disappointments and KY jelly. And I used to pick her up. I used to stuff 2 or 3 porn starlets inside my work truck, which was a Ford Ranger.
Wow.
And but they're all skinny petite, so it's I could have 5 of them over there. And I used to always go
3 in your lap.
Yeah. Oh, it was fun, man. The perks of dropping porn starlets over there was hilarious and all that stuff. And then it ended up turning into taking one of them, getting $25 an hour, not an hour, $25 stop, and then driving them as escorts to locations. Usually only took 25 minutes, get $25, go to another location. I used to make money doing that. Just basically dropping off escorts.
Just dropping them off.
Dropping them off and waiting patiently. Good thing for phones.
Good thing for phones. So, how many bands are you in currently?
Oh, up until 2 weeks ago, I was in 4, but I got fired from one.
So,
But I'm in-
what are they? The ones you're in? The 3
All
you're
right.
in?
My main one is Embers Dawn. We've been around for 4 or 5 years. We played some big shows. We played all around Florida.
And what kind of music is that?
I would say it's metal music, kind of like an Evanescence, Kill Switch Engage type style of music.
And say the name again for those of us who are deaf and stupid. Namely
Embers
me.
Dawn. Embers, fire embers, and Dawn, dawn.
Embers Dawn. Welcome, Embers Dawn, to the
Yes.
stage.
Yep.
Sounds like a stripper.
Yeah, it could be a stripper. I mean, that was not my first. Our original name was Embers Fall, but then there was another band became Embers Fall, and then they trademarked it. You saw how Church Girls. I don't know if you know the Church Girls, right?
I've heard of them. I haven't seen them. I've heard of them. I have not
Well,
heard
they
them.
just recently changed their name because another band trademarked Church Girls, so they had to change their name to We Are Girls, and so that's why we had to change our names. We were originally Embers Fall. But I wanted to name my band, and she said it was too girly. I want to know if this band name is too girly of a name. Stars Over Jupiter. Do you think that was too girly of a name? But we had a lead singer as a chick. Yeah, I mean, But we were like playing like really heavy metal and all that stuff. But she's like, no, it's too girly.
You know, the level of your male patriarchy you're bringing to the naming of bands is really disappointing to me
know.
right now.
I know.
You know, not everything needs to be assigned a sexual gender. And if you don't get that's fucking sarcasm, because I don't give a fuck.
We do not give a fuck on the Blue Collar Genius podcast.
No, just fuck. If it's a cool sounding name, I honestly think bands just fucking pull a name out of a hat, really.
Yeah, like I really want like the next band. I want to name a band The South. Just call it The South. But every person I ever brought that up to was in the band recently. I'm like, no, that's not fun. I'm like, bitch, I want to be called The South.
Well, unfortunately, you're a little late, but you know, this happened recently. Is some
He said sounds like 4 15-year-olds singing in the bedroom.
Yep.
Sounds like Jupiter. Or starts with Jupiter.
someone sat here and someone turned to me. I'm at a venue and there's
True that. Yeah, 100%. You would definitely. They would definitely be on Warp Tour. They started like
Warped Tour.
2007.
there was a cover band playing at the bar, and someone turns to me and goes, "Do you know the band?" And I said, "Yeah, they played the night they drove Old Dixie down," and they went, and they just had to stop for a moment.
Oh, you talking about the band? The band.
The band.
Yeah. About to say they have that. I think they also are the ones that did 30 Days in a Hole, right? 30 Days in the Hole.
Probably. But I was just laughing because they're like, "Do you know the band?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they played the night they drove Old Dixie down. They played a couple other songs." And they just like did not know how to react at first.
Like I'm shook. I'm stunned.
I get the question you were trying to ask is, do I know the name of the band currently playing? But you asked me, do I know the band?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I'm very familiar with their
Yeah,
music.
but I like that. Shoot, what are we talking about?
Your band. So you have Embers Dawn.
Yep, playing with Embers Dawn. That's my baby. That's a band I've been around for 5 years. We're currently in about 2 months. We should have an EP out. We're going to a studio next week to go through do the walkthrough, the preliminary thing of like if we want to do it over at this place. So that's going to take like an hour or two of doing that. Like my least favorite thing of music is recording. Is the least favorite thing to do. Is because you have to continuously play the same song over and over and over again, and you start realizing I don't really like this song anymore.
So what's your other bands?
I'm in the PeepShow, which is an acoustic duo with Sarah Scully. I basically took over for he's gonna hate me, Jonathan. I think I can't think of his name, but he used to be in the Drift Effect and the Quacks. He moved to Colorado, and I took over, and I'm the lead guitarist and acoustic guitarist for her. We're playing July 26th over at Crazy Uncle Mike's. We're playing with Tantric, and I don't know if you remember them. They were from the late 90s, early 2000s. They were big. That show's about to be sold out. So
And Crazy Uncle Mike's is in,
Boca.
and they are a
Bistro. They're like a beer pub place. It's like they make their own beer on site and really good food. It's a little bit hoity-toity because it's like
it's in Boca.
yeah, it's Boca. It's rich people, but we're playing with Tantric. It was either playing with Tantric or playing with Trapped, and I said let's play with Tantric.
Cool enough. And then the last band?
We don't really have a name. We kind of calling it right now, but it has members of MRSA in it. Has Brett and Joe from MRSA in there, and our group chat we're called Oof. But we don't have like a set name, and we're straight death metal.
Now, do you want to tell everyone, are you okay with telling everyone about the band you just got fired from?
Oh, I got fired from Grounds, the band that I played Warp Tour with last year with, and I never liked the music in the first place. Pop punk is never my favorite music, but at the time, Caesar was my friend, and he needed another guitarist because it was currently just him and a bassist and a drummer, and he had parts that needed a second guitarist. So I said, "Yeah, all right, cool, fine, I'll do it." And I played the shows. I learned like 7-8 songs within like a week's time because it was easy music. And when I joined a band, I put my all. I mean, you've kind of noticed when I'm even for the day we scheduled this, I started promoting this constantly. Also, so I do a lot of promotion and all this stuff. And he was always bragging about like were on Takeover Records and all that stuff. And hey, they might be a good label, but I never saw a dime in the year I was there. So it's whatever. And I played like 10, 12 shows with him. And what happened with him is like my pet peeve with him is like I would promote through my page more than through the Facebook page initially because I had like 5,000 friends. I can get the word out more than through the Facebook page. He would he would yell at me for doing that. He got mad at me for not like going through that page. He got mad at me if I made myself my own type of flyer because he said I should use the flyer they given to us when half the time they didn't have a flyer for us. And things is like he would do the bare minimum. I like out of like the 12 shows, I think he promoted once, and it was our last show that I got fired before I could play. So it was the last show I didn't play. And like when he got mad is because I would do all that stuff, and what the final straw is I promoted the last show, and all I did was simply put our band logo under the actual flyer itself because I would sell three other flyers, and I posted it. And then after I posted, about 30 minutes later, I brought it to our group chat. And he started going on me, and I told him, like, straight up, you know what? Fuck off. And he started snapping at me like, oh, I don't want to play with anybody who's that negative, blah, 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 blah. And, like, I said, I'm like, all right, I'm done. And, like, a little later, I get a call from our manager, Nishan. It's like, oh, he says he'll let you play the show if you apologize. I'm like, bitch, I ain't fucking apologize. I'm like, why do you think he needs to apologize? Oh, because he thinks he's like giving you the opportunity to play in Grounds and play in Warped Tour. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like, I got to play Warped Tour. It was the last fucking Warped Tour. Bloodbather. And every other fucking local band got to play on this too. He thinks I should suck his dick for fucking playing the last Warped Tour when we had to build our own fucking stage. We were on the fucking corner stage that was right in front of like the gate entrance, and we literally had to build our stage. We played at like 3:45, and in the video that we have, he covers up out of the crowd with just like a dub with our recorded music. But at the very end of it, thousands of people there, they're passing by us. There's no one cannot not see us because we're right in front of the gate. With that last song, you could barely hear anybody clap. And I'll tell you one thing. Pop punk is dead. No, we should never have been playing it. The only reason we got there is because he probably knew somebody over there. But on top of like doing that stuff, saying that I should like be grateful for playing in his band, I'm like, dude, I played initially because I was your friend. It's not because I like the fucking music at all, because I don't give a fuck about pop punk, because we sounded like my best thing would be like a heavier version of Bowling for Soup. Literally. Bowling for Soup, SR-71, and a little bit of A Day to Remember. And it's just not my music. And he kept saying, like, they did it, like, the week before I got fired. They randomly kicked out our drummer. Like the manager kicked out our drummer without, like, giving us, like, a vote to kick him out. And that kind of, like, annoyed me. Yeah, our drummer couldn't keep time to save his life, but he was a good dude. It's just like stupid things like that. And like another thing is like when it came to promoting any show that I actually got us, like with the Propaganda show, the first one, packed, good, had a good crowd, good. The next show he didn't promote, and we played at Propaganda, and it was probably the worst show I've ever played in my life. Like in the video that I recorded, you guys see me bouncing my head off the wall for how bad we sounded. I literally told him, like, you gave me cancer. Turns out I almost had cancer at the end of last year. I'm like, see what I told you? You guys almost gave me cancer. And, like, his voice, he could not sing. Like, you can listen to him on YouTube.
Are you saying he sings as well as I do?
You probably sing better than him.
Damn, dude. He just fucking ran you over with a bus.
Like, and the thing is, he's a good guitarist. I will not, like, even if I don't like you, I'll say, like, you're good. Like, Joey D. Asshole. Huge cut. Really funny. Really good fucking guitarist. Singer from Grounds. Really good guitarist. Bad at singing. Could be good at singing if he could control his party. I feel like every time we ever played, he was always skeeted up and freaking drunk. So his voice would be super fucking pitchy. It was bad. And like you could see it in the crowd. And like they're just making the face like, ugh. Yeah. And like like I'm not gonna apologize, especially if I'm helping your band. Especially when you entered the band with like 300 likes, and as I'm leaving the band, you have 1,500. All of them are mine. I built the YouTube channel, and I built the IG channel. I did do one thing petty. The one thing I did do petty, because what I did is after he kicked me out, I changed the password on the IG and YouTube account, and I scrubbed myself, all the shit I ever did. I'm talking. I scrubbed I scrubbed all my pictures, scrubbed all the pictures of my former bassist and the former drummer out there, and all the videos I made. And I did that on the YouTube channel, and I did that on the Facebook. Like, if you're gonna bitch at me for all my promo stuff, no, you don't get any of it. I'll take that back. And when I was done with it, he had like 5 pictures left.
Damn.
Yeah, so
So I'm gonna guess the friendship is dead.
look, I don't. But the thing is with this, I don't stay mad for long. If he talks to me, he comes up to me, we talk, we can talk it out, we can work it out. I'm never going to do music with him anymore because, one, I don't like that music. But if he comes up to talk to me, I'm not a person to hold on to hate. But he's going to actually talk to me because I blocked his phone number and blocked all his social. So he's going to have to actually come up to me personally.
So with you being the way you are, if he comes up to you and instead of like, dude, I was a total dick, and he's like, what's your fucking problem, man? Well, I've done all this for you. You owe me and all that shit. What are you gonna do?
I guess we're I see we're still negative. I'll talk to you when you're less angry, because that's what it is. I'm like, if he wants to go for a tussle, we could tussle. Like, I'll fight him. I don't give a fuck.
Gonna get laid out, boy.
Yeah, but like, I don't.
Best come with an apology.
Yeah, like, dude, I put a lot of effort into your band. The music I don't care for. The first day I played with him, he was to the point where he was so skeeted up. I had a hard time wanting to leave him because he was holding his chest like this. I felt like he was going to have a heart attack. Like, bro, you going to die of me? The first day of practice was me recording guitar parts for his music. And, like, he was asking me, do I have a problem? Do I have a problem? You worked at rehab. Do you have a problem? I'm like, yeah, you do. You should dial it back. Or as he used to call it, a sabbatical.
A sabbatical. So, of the genres of music you play, what's your preferred genre
All right, here's the thing.
that you enjoy playing the most?
Personally, myself, I
Yes.
love playing death metal and deathcore and technical metal and all that stuff. But what apparently all the women say I would do best at is my acoustic music. They say I'm amazing at acoustic
Do
guitar.
they throw their panties at you?
I write good enough riffs for the panties to throw at me. So that's literally what I've been told. Like, I love playing death metal, tech death metal, and all that stuff. But apparently, I'm really good at acoustic guitar. But I mean, I've been playing acoustic guitar for probably since I was 11. So, like, my original nickname was Slow Hands, and if you know who that's from Eric Clapton. That was his original nickname, Mr. Slow Hands. Because I used to love just like blues stuff and all that stuff. But yeah, that's I'm really good at music. I don't want to toot my horn, but I'm pretty good.
So, who was your biggest influence musically outside of Eric Clapton?
Queen. I love Queen. They'll be one of my favorite bands. When it comes to that, it'd be like Queen, Boston, Deep Purple, Tom Waits is one of my
You did not
favorites.
just say Boston. Oh my God.
I got to see Boston with their singer before he committed suicide.
Well, if that's what does it for you, I guess.
Boston's good, baby. They have that good tone.
Have you ever played Boston backwards on a?
No. But what else? What else influenced? Tom Waits was another one. You're gonna laugh. First 2 albums of Smash Mouth. Smash Mouth's first 2 albums. I love him. And
Walking on the Sun, huh?
yeah, I mean, their first 2 albums were good before they went like Disney. Fucking Stadium Arcadium or what? I don't know. That's Red Hot Chili Peppers. But the All Star album was the shitty album. But the first 2 before that were great. And then they became Disney. And it was like Jonas Brothers before Jonas Brothers.
Jonas Brothers before Jonas
Yeah.
Brothers. Okay.
Speaking of, when I was working at Coral Sky Amphitheater, I was doing side stage of that stuff. They don't play their instruments live.
No.
Nope. A lot of them don't. A lot of the rappers, like 50 Cent, they didn't do anything live. Like he had an active mic, but he kind of let his backing tracks do most of the stuff, and he was just hyping the crowd. Jonas Brothers and all them Backstreet Boys, they had mics on to talk and all that stuff. But they didn't really talk. They didn't really sing because they're doing dance moves and all that stuff. But yeah, they didn't play their instruments at all. It was all backing tracks over there. Music industry sucks nowadays. Even though I'm in it, it sucks.
So, you have what? Is there any passions, anything, hobbies that you have that we haven't talked about? I mean, we talked about your photography, your music. Is there a hobby you have that people aren't aware of? That
Well, you're probably aware of if you look at my size. If you see my size, I love food.
I was gonna say, I see you're big into exercising.
I do work out a lot, and it's just my thing is I just love food too much. But I used to actually, when I went to high school, I was trying to be a chef, and I was a chef until like 26. From like 12 years old to 26, I was in like kitchens, and I just got burned out of it. I got in a car accident, hurt my back, and it's hard to stand up for 12 hours a day when your back hour 5 and it wants to make you fall over to the side because of how painful it is. And I can fix that just by losing the weight, but which I'm trying to, but it's hard because I love food.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other? Is there anything else? So you're a foodie,
I love food.
but that's not technically a hobby. But okay.
I mean, it can be.
Uh,
I mean, you can learn things. I mean, anything can be technically a hobby. Serial killing could be a hobby for shit.
and there's a lot of people who will watch this at some point that are friends, mutual friends, and friends that are from ours from social media that'd be like, "Oh yes, that's definitely a hobby."
That is definitely a hobby. He knows it. Or they'd be like, he's a serial killer. He just admitted it.
Oh no, most of them are like fascinated with serial killers.
They're all fascinating until the day. It's like everybody's fascinated possibly getting a finger up their butt until that day comes.
And then you're like, "Oh, I'm personally not a fan." No.
No, never mind. Let's see. Passionate. As much I haven't done. I love traveling, even though I haven't done a lot of it recently. But I love like going to other places than Florida. And trust me, I love South Florida. I never get people who talk shit about South Florida. Like, oh, South Florida's boring. It's a bad place. But if there's always something to do. If you can't find something to do, you just don't know. You don't have a life.
Oh, so interesting thing about that. So when I'm dating, one of the things I ask women that I'm seeing is if you could live anywhere, anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Uh-huh.
And if their answer is anything other than where I'm at, I love Florida, I want to be at Florida, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I love it. Like, one of my favorite places is just like, you got the city life and then you got the nature life of Florida.
Well, for me, it's if you're not living where you want to be,
Then don't be here.
then you either are lazy, that's why you haven't moved,
Yep.
or you're afraid to do what you're doing, or in some cases, there are people who are in the process of getting their life in a position where they can move,
Yeah.
but that's not going to work for me because I don't want to leave Florida. I've lived other places. This is where I want to be.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with. I mean, you can't beat 24/7 summer. As much as it's hot, I can go to the beach on December 25th and have great. And women in sundresses 24/7. And like straight up, South Florida, there's good-looking people, whether you're a dude or a chick. Everybody's good-looking. Even the fat people are good-looking. Like, I'm a good-looking fat guy. I'm a good-looking fluffy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Joey's over there. He's sexy. He's the whitest Spanish guy I know. I mean, like, like he looks more Italian than he.
A Puerto Rican.
He's a Puerto Rican. He's a New Rican.
So,
Dead ass.
are any of your other bands going to be performing soon?
We're still doing four songs we just created for the death metal band. We're still trying to get the vocals down pat. And Embers Dawn, we're more concentrated on getting our album done because it's been 5 years. We've been saying to all our guys, we're going to have an album out, and then we never do it. And so it was like, we want to do it. Plus, we're sick and tired of just playing the old songs. We were writing new songs, but we're in the process of recording the old ones. So right now, it's just only Tantric. We're playing like I said, the 26 over Crazy Uncle Mike's. And then right after that, I'm going to see Korn and Alice in Chains. That's going to be one hell of a show.
So, are you planning on bringing your band here after you guys cut the EP? And
Hell yeah. I mean, if you could play music, we could play music and all that stuff.
you see how much room? I mean, we could always make room, but
No, I mean, like, we could just give you the CD and just play the music. We could do that.
USB drive. But yeah, we can make that happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, we could definitely make that happen. I'd always love to bring Embers Dawn. Hell, I'd love to bring on the Peep Show with Sarah Scully because she has a beautiful voice. And she's like I'd have to say, like, the female version of Alice in Chains. She has an amazing, amazing voice.
Awesome.
Very humble, very, very sweet, great musician. Yeah. Yeah. Is there any more questions?
No, I'm kind of coming to an end myself. Is there anything you want to ask me, or you want topics you want to bring up?
Let's see. Da.
I mean, I'm cool to keep going. I'm just.
I mean, we're cool to keep going too. It's just like we're at this point of like we've gone through everything on the list.
No, that's with anything. You have a conversation. You your brain goes, that's a lot of cool shit.
Yeah,
I'm still processing it all. What about your personal life? Let's get into that a little bit. So, what's the most fucked up thing you've had happen to you in a relationship?
Oh. Here's this, and I love him. He's still my boy. I was told that I've been only in one relationship in my life.
Really? Only one? How old are you again?
33.
And how long were you in that relationship?
5 years.
Okay.
And it was from 20 to 25? Yeah, 20 to 25. And what it is I found out that, because I'm very open with my relationships and with anybody, I have no leash polish. I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, she could hang out with her ex-boyfriends and all that stuff. I don't care. She hang out with her girls, and I don't care. If you want me to come by and hang out, cool. If you don't want me to come by, I'll do me, whatever. I'm not a person that needs to be up your ass, and I don't want you to be up my ass, too. But it was never like that in a relationship. I found out, like, 2 years after that, my best friend, probably since second grade, who was my roommate, banged her, like, multiple times. Then her ex-boyfriend, who we had living at our house, too, banged her. And I found out after 2 years, I'm like, what am I going to do about it? I wasn't really, it was a 5-year relationship, and I was probably done with it, honestly, with myself 3 years into it. But I was complacent and just didn't make the effort to break up with it. So I found about that shit. So I found out that she did all that stuff. And I helped him move out of our old apartment. And as we're moving out of the apartment, I stopped for a second with him there. I'm like, and because she had her guy at the time, I was like, hey, guess what? We all of us three guys have one thing in common. And I just looked at her. And I'm like, and she got so bright red because she just realized she's in a room with everybody has fucked her silly.
While you and her were together.
Yeah. And like I said, she would get angry because, like, I would hang out with, like, good-looking chicks like I've known for years and all that stuff. I'd invite her. She say no. And then when I go hang out with them, because they've been my friends for, like, since I was, like, little, I come back and she starts screaming at me. But then I'd let her go hang out with her ex-boyfriends and not really care. Like, because my mentality is if I'm in a relationship with you, I have trust with you, you're going to come back to me. You're not going to do anything stupid. Well, she did that. You know what? And she's now with a guy who she started dating on bad terms. Like, the guy started cheating on his girl while he was having cancer, mind you. This guy was having cancer, and this girl stuck with him. And he was not having, like, oh, I got maybe mold and something. No, he had, like, it might die cancer. And he started cheating on her with my ex and all that stuff. Amanda, that's her name. That's a standard name for everybody. So
it may not actually be Amanda, but we're going to go with Amanda.
Oh, it's Amanda. I don't give a fuck. Hi, Amanda. You looking like Ursula nowadays.
Oh, sure. You a fat bitch.
Oh, dude, like, I love her. I love the time we had and all that stuff. But she was a vegetarian. Sorry to get off topic.
And now she's a cockatarian?
No. This is the thing is, like, she was a vegetarian, did not like vegetables. She, like, her favorite thing to eat was poutine. Now, I don't know if you know what poutine is. Poutine is, like, she did the vegetarian poutine instead of, like, beef gravy. It is French fries, and she did mushroom gravy and cheese curds. And that's her favorite thing to eat. And she wondered why in our relationship she went from 140 to 260 in 5-year span. And personally, I don't give a fuck what you look like. You could be a good person, a big bad person. It's all about that your mentality and how you look. But if you start becoming an asshole to me, I start feeling that weight. Like,
Oh, apparently I'm very vain.
yeah. Like, if you're a sweetheart, I don't feel that weight. But like,
That's an inside joke.
but like, I started feeling it, and like, she started like just being rude, just like being rude, and like she did things I didn't like. Like the one thing, like I don't like
sucked another dude's cock while you're in a relationship with her. I find that very rude.
Yeah, that's rude. Not cool, dude. Not cool. But that's rude too, dude. And but no, like one thing she did. One, she slept on the side of the bed that I was always comfortable sleeping since the day I was born. It's like the left side of the bed. That's my side of the bed. That was her side of the bed. So being a man, I let her have that. But two, the one thing I asked her: do not smoke cigarettes like in bed, like in the very morning, because I'm susceptible to like smoke because I'm allergic to it. But I'm not like severely allergic to it, like where I get really super sick. But it only really affects me early in the morning. And she would chain smoke like 5, 6, 7 cigarettes in the morning.
Now you're making me feel bad. Smoking in here next to you. I mean,
No, that doesn't bother me.
like I said, it makes me feel bad. It's not stopping me, but it makes me feel a little
it
bad.
makes you feel. And like, all right, for example, and all this stuff, for like, she never, like I say, I go hard on everything I do. Like, for like relationship, the 2 weeks before we broke up, I took her to her favorite restaurant, which is Darpster's down, which is a very good vegan vegetarian restaurant.
I'll take your word for that.
Because let's see, I got her 2 tickets to her favorite band, rented her a car and a hotel, bought her a hotel for her and her friend Isabel to go see a show up in Orlando. 2 weeks later, we broke up, and the only reason I didn't go because I couldn't afford it because I had to pay for our rent. I also had to pay for $300 most of the groceries every time we did it. I paid for most of her shit. And like it was never even. Like I would spend $500 on her, and like it was my birthday or some Christmas thing. She gave me a shirt or a CD, but I didn't really care because I loved her at that time. But it's just I sitting back and realizing like I put way too much effort into somebody didn't put any effort back into it. So that's the shit I had to deal with her, and I still wouldn't change myself. Like if I get in another relationship, personally, I enjoy being single. Now, I was enjoying being single back then, but she kind of guilt tripped me into being in a relationship, and that's my bad. That's my bad. But if I do, I'm still having no leash or anything. You do you. If you want to have fun, have fun. If you want to with me, cool. If you don't, if you want to do it with your friends, cool. I feel like overcrowding is a bad thing when it comes into a relationship like that. But she guilt tripped me into this because we were messing around and all this stuff. And she started crying one day, like, I don't know what we're going to be. Like in my head, I'm like, I was just having fun with you. Why do we have to make it any more than that? And I thought, fine. Amanda, do you want to be my girlfriend? And she's just like, yes. And like 2 weeks later, I'm working at Fright Nights.
And 3 weeks later, she's got another dick in her. Oh,
probably. I don't care. At this point, it is what it is. But like 2 weeks
Amanda,
later, I'm working at Fright Nights, and I'm talking to my friend at the very end of the night. My friend Brittany, she's a hair salonist, super awesome person. And I'm talking to her, and all of a sudden I hear, Parker, my boyfriend. Who is that? And my friends have since high school.
Wait. Did she work at Fright Nights as well?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say that's fucking crazy if she showed up at your job and calls you out on the mic.
That's not even the worst time she did something like that. But she said, like, my friend Brittany, like, who's that? I'm like, that's my girlfriend. And in my head, I'm like, after that, I'm like, I'm gonna probably break up with her in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna just run this out until I get bored with this. 5 years later, that's how stubborn I am and complacent I can be. Don't be complacent. If you don't like somebody, get out of the relationship. Don't be complacent, because you know what? It's more expensive the longer you are with him. But the worst time she ever did something like that, where she snapped and called out my name like that, was I was working at Coral Sky Amphitheater. It was one of the bigger Van Warped tours, like in 2009 or 10. And I'm like working these bathrooms areas, letting like this is like for the rock stars and all this, and these 2 hot blonde chicks, they're all like trying to schmooze me to get backstage and all that stuff, and they're like trying to grab me and show me their titties and all this stuff. And she literally, at the very end of the song where it got quiet, she just yelled, "Stop touching my boyfriend!" And I could hear the Dead Kennedy singer up on stage like, "Oh, someone's getting in trouble." I'm like, "Fuck." I'm like, "That's the fucking shit I got to deal with." I'm like,
Was the head at least good? Like, did she give a good enough
No,
blowjob?
no. I've never had the worst. Like that. Like I'm saying, I'm bad with complacency. Don't be like me, because I let it ride sometimes.
Not even good head, and she was like that?
No, it got soft. How the fuck can you do that? We're gentlemen. You blow air, we're happy.
Yeah. Just touch the tip with your tongue.
Just touch it.
Kiss it. Just kiss it with your
Kiss
lips.
it. We're good to go. But no. She was bad.
Oh,
I know she's not watching this. I don't give a fuck if she does. And then I realize, practice your head game. Practice your head game. This is the reason why guys cheat on you. It's just... It's right. It's the reason why they'll fall asleep on you.
Oh, bitch, you give such bad head. Guys cheat on you because you suck.
No,
They suck
but
so
get back
bad
to her.
at
So
sucking.
her new boyfriend, who she now married with, so the guy was cheating on her. They finally got together, and then she discovered that she was, because she would tell me all this stuff, that he was sexting other chicks and his ex-girlfriend. I'm like, brah, dude, you are the cheatee. He cheated. What makes you think
He's not going to cheat on you?
Yeah, you did. He cheated on his girlfriend with you. What do you think he's not going to do with that? So to shut her up, he asked her to marry her. And the funniest thing is she wanted a kid. I never wanted a kid because I enjoy not having kids. I mean, my hat's off to everybody who wants to be a mother or a father. Cool. I'll be the fun uncle. I'll let them have all the fun, send them back all geeked up on caffeine and Mountain Dew. But they've been trying to have kids nonstop, and the cancer fried his.
Oh, I was gonna say,
sperm.
tell me he knocked up some chick on the side.
No, it would have been hilarious, but they can't get pregnant because his stew has been fried.
So she got knocked up from somebody else?
No, not yet. Hopefully, that'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious.
The best would be if they were both cheating on each other the same night and she got knocked up.
Oh, I have a story like that, which is, all right. There's a story like this, and where I was told, I'm not going to say any names, but there's this person I know who had a boyfriend, and every time they would break up or take a break, she would go and bang somebody else of a different color and all that stuff. But they would get back together. But at the same time, we were always trying to have kids, and they got pregnant. And then, a couple months, we get to figure out what color it is going to be, and it's going to be hilarious.
Oh shit!
Speaking of like the person's father and her boyfriend or on and off boyfriend are super racist.
Oh my god!
So this is delicious.
How many people are praying the kid comes out black?
Me for one, because I love controversy. I mean, she posted up ultrasounds, and I'm like, that kid's black.
Now, do you think the boyfriend, husband, whatever the fuck he is gonna stick around afterwards?
Probably not. I would love so. I mean, the kid wins out of this no matter what, because you got to go extra. You got to go extra with the kid. Like, if he fucked up, that kid's gonna probably get whatever the fuck he wants. Oh yeah, mom, you cheated on me. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but that's it. Yeah. Real quick, I gotta take a piss like a motherfucker.
I don't know what the fuck he's yelling about.
Speak up.
We're at the 2-hour mark. We're gonna have you back.
All right. That's
I'm
fine.
gonna let you go take a piss. We're gonna call it an end. More than once because you got 2 different bands.
Yeah.
And I definitely have you back on your own as well at some time.
Oh yeah. I have fun with this stuff. I can keep shit going.
So, with that, Parker, it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure as always.
To everyone that was watching and the people commenting, thank you. And with that, let's go get drunk the rest of our Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, remember, follow me on Instagram at Rockenstein Rockin' Photos _ Rockin' Photos.
And look in the description; you'll find all those
you'll
links.
find all that shit. And if you need photos, hit me up. I'm very cheap. I'm like a cheap hooker on Dixie.
He'll take
I'll
blowjobs for
Take
photos.
everything. Not blowjobs because I need money. But
Sorry, guys, you're out of luck.
yeah, guys, you're out of luck. But I had fun doing all this stuff, and can't wait to be on here again.
Bye, bitches.
Bye.